Welcome back, guys, to Cosio 2 walkthrough. On the last episode, we pretty much escaped the enemy base. Reen finally can control his powers. And let's see what's gonna happen next. We are in Courageous right now. We play Master and everybody from Class 7, pretty much. This is where the story is gonna get interesting because we don't know where it's gonna go, you know?
If that is all, I will return to a state of inactivity.
Thanks for all you've done, Valimar. I'll be counting on you if anything else comes up.
Acknowledged. Prepare yourself for your next encounter with the Azure Knight, my awakener.
Don't worry, I will. We lost last time, but I know that's not all I'm capable of. As long as we're all together, I know I can get stronger.
That's the spirit, man.
I eagerly await your results.
Looks like he went to sleep.
So, this is what the Great Ashen Knight looks like up close, huh? I've heard all manner of rumor about it, but I never expected I'd stand in the presence of a legend.
I can't possibly begin to thank you enough. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come to my aid. Thank you. Really. And that goes for everyone else, too. Thanks for coming to rescue me, guys.
We're just happy you're okay.
Just don't scare us like that again, alright?
True. We were all on edge waiting for you to get back.
And yet you somehow managed to come out unscathed with Her Highness in tow.
You make it sound like it was easy. Well, easy or not, it was worth going on board. I got plenty of useful info out of it. So funny enough, I'd say their invitation worked to my benefit more than theirs.
True.
I guess there's no harm in looking at the positives now that all's said and done.
Look at you, acting mature and all grown up. Brings a tear to my eye.
Looks like we have some catching up to do.
I'd like to follow Reen's lead and extend my thanks to each of you as well. Thank you, all of you. And, dear brother, it's a relief to see you safe and sound. Though I never pictured my great escape would end with you in this airship of all things.
We did time our appearance fabulously, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, the timing was way too good.
My only regret is that we weren't able to blow in with a storm of rose petals when we boarded them. Perhaps I should have asked Emma to look into the feasibility of making such a magnificent entrance.
Oh man, that would have been so cool!
Well, it's probably not impossible.
Now you're just being silly.
Sounds about right for our prince.
Well, at the very least, I'd say we're clear of any immediate danger. And given this opportunity, I'd like to sit down with you to discuss our situation and exchange any pertinent information. But first, I think we have a few more reunions to celebrate.
Oh, do we, bro?
Reen!
Oh, okay.
Towa! George! I thought I heard your voices when we started flying away from the Pantagruel, so you were on board too?
You bet. Good to see you, Reen.
How the hell did they end up in the ship, though?
Whoa!
It's really you. You're really okay. No sooner had we found out that you were still alive, we got told you had been taken by the Alliance. We've been so worried about you.
I'm a real troublemaker, aren't I? Sorry, Towa, but I'm glad to see you and George made it out okay. Everything I've said to you has been at the back of my mind ever since we parted ways in Trista. And it's kept me going every step of the way. So, thank you.
Oh. You remembered.
I like how every girl just falls for
You
Rain.
promised me you wouldn't die. And you didn't. We still need to work on that one. But I know you're not the kind of guy who'd go back on his word.
See? Rain's a guy you can count on. Nice to see her holding up okay. Still can't believe you made it through all that fighting in Trista in one piece, but... well, here you are.
Good to see you again, George. But how'd you two end up on the Courageous to begin with?
We'll bring you up to speed once we all sit down for our meeting. There's a conference room on one of the upper floors. We can meet there when you're ready.
Alright. Damn, look all this technological shit going on. I guess, look at this.
The Courageous began its independent operations right before Heimdall was first occupied. I realized what the Alliance was planning, so I gathered a skeleton crew, met with Viscount Arcade, and we hurried straight to Trista, where we found your classmates locked in combat with the Azure Knight.
I see.
That's what
That
happened.
explains why you were in Trista.
I shudder to think what would have happened if not for the Courageous's timely appearance. What have you been doing since then, Father? I hadn't heard anything about your whereabouts until now.
Eventually, we were able to shake off the Azure Knight's pursuit. And we've been traveling around the country ever since, preparing to find you and take you on board.
George and I haven't been here long. The principal managed to get in touch with the Courageous without anyone noticing and sent us here.
I see.
He did?
I hope he's still alright. By the way, what happened to Major Vander? You two are always joined at the hip.
Ah, alas, he is currently indisposed. His military obligations have him heading up the 7th Armored Division in Western Erebonia. They're working with your former instructor, Major Neidhart, as well.
With him too?
I see.
So he's over in the west now.
I should have known the 4th Armored Division's ace wouldn't get his ass kicked so easily.
Oh, right. Dad said he'd heard from him too, remember?
Still, the west side of the country contains Marquis Hyarm's Sutherland province, along with Duke Cayenne's Lemaire province. The fighting there would no doubt be even more fierce than it is here in eastern Erebonia.
Correct. A large percentage of the Imperial Army's military strength still remains intact. But the Noble Alliance forces' constant attacks have put them at a disadvantage. On top of that, a number of townships in the region have been caught in the crossfire and suffered great losses.
That's terrible.
I'd heard as much, but it still pisses me off to hear it.
With the 3rd and 4th Armored Divisions occupied on the eastern side of the country, one can only assume the Noble Alliance intends to use that as an opportunity to crush the forces in the west.
Yeah, but they're not stupid. I bet the army in the west is putting up a pretty good fight by themselves.
It's too early to call things just yet.
An astute assessment. The situation in the Western Theater could change at a moment's notice.
Right. But that means we're uncertain what course to pursue now. And having said that, we have a question to pose to all of you. The question, really. With the whole of the Empire caught in the throes of civil war, what exactly do all of you intend to do from here on out?
Yeah, that's the biggest question, right?
Us?
We were in the midst of discussing that when Reen was taken to the Pantagruel, in fact.
This is a full-on war, and our fellow Erebonian countrymen stand on both sides. one here is delusional enough to think that a group of students like us are capable of stopping it by ourselves. Still, during our field studies, we found ourselves up against the problems this nation faces again and again. And because we have that experience, I believe there's a place for us to change things in all this, a part only we can play. We may not be able to compete head-on with the Alliance, but together, we can move things in the right direction for Erebonia as a whole.
That was wonderful, Rean.
I always feel that every time Rin pull one of those kind of speeches like that, he pulls it out of his ass. I'll be honest.
Still, we aren't all gathered here for the same reasons. Be it rescuing Elise or settling things with Crow, we've all got something that we personally want to accomplish. But accomplishing those things won't be possible with the situation as it stands. And that's why, no matter how stacked the odds are against us, or how fierce the fighting becomes, we want to put everything we have into making all the difference we possibly can, in whatever way we can. I think I speak for everyone in Class 7 when I say that.
You bet!
I agree completely. We may all come from different walks of life, but this time, that can work for us.
Exactly. We have something no one else does, and because of that, we can do things no one else can.
And what kind of class would we be if we didn't take advantage of that to protect the people and things we love?
As well as find our own answers to the questions we have looming over us.
As Rean said, however big or small it is in the long run, we have a place in this war, and we have every intention of following it.
Sounds like it'll be a pain, though.
No biggie. We're Class 7. Throw in a few of Rean's trademark speeches and we're raring to go.
I know, right? Rin's speeches is like so on point.
You all sound like you've really thought long and hard about this.
That's the Class 7 I'm proud to serve.
And you guys aren't the only ones who feel that way. Everyone at Thor's has something to bring to the table. Remember the Academy's motto? Arise, O youth, and become the foundation of the world.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was what Principal Van Dyke said to us at the welcoming ceremony.
Damn, I do not remember that. It's been so long.
The Lionheart served to inspire us to this day, it would seem.
Of course. They ring as true as ever.
It's like you didn't even have to think about it. You guys just knew.
Yeah, you should be proud of yourselves. And it's true that Thor students are scattered all over the country right now. But I'm sure that each and every one of them are fighting too, and they feel the exact same way that you guys do.
I understand. Your Highness.
Indeed. I figured you would have already given it some thought, but I wasn't expecting such a stirring conviction. But I think this at least settles the matter of what course to take. If you would do the honors, Captain.
As you wish. We're about to do something neither side would ever expect us to do. We're going to entrust this ship to you.
Really?
From here on out, the Courageous is yours to command as you see fit.
That's crazy.
What?
Father, would you mind elaborating?
It means exactly what it sounds like. The operation of this ship will be left entirely to your discretion. I imagine your journey to make a difference in this war needs a home base to begin from.
Well, yes, but...
But then what will you do?
We plan to disembark and make our way to the western provinces. Once there, we'll begin working with the 7th Armored Division and the other neutral forces in the region. The intention is to ensure that as few innocents as possible are harmed by this conflict.
I was actually worried this airship might prove a bit too conspicuous to aid us in pursuing that goal. But with us headed west, we'd be leaving all of Eastern Erebonia in your hands.
Alright.
Wow.
I see. That does make the most logical sense.
Kinda. If we've got the courageous, we could give our third faction some real weight. Neither side could afford to ignore us.
I'm not even sure the guild could come up with a plan this wild.
Well, it's fair to say I've learned a lot from the way the guild's members handle things, yourself included. Oh, and Alphen?
Yes?
I'd like to ask you to remain on board the Courageous as well. This ship is technically the property of the Arner household, fathers in particular. It should give them a certain freedom to act if they have concrete backing from a member of the Imperial family.
I'd be happy to. Henceforth, I, Princess Alphen Rice Arner, will guarantee the legitimacy of their actions. So do whatever you see fit to do. You have my full support.
Thank you, Your Highness.
Wow!
We're truly honored to have you with us.
No turning back now.
Yeah, seriously.
We hereby humbly accept custody of the courageous.
Please, leave Eastern Arabonia to us.
We'll be counting on you then.
I'm looking forward to toasting your future successes.
All right.
I'm leaving you in charge of the Courageous's day-to-day operations.
Nice.
I don't doubt you'll make a fine acting captain.
It would be an honor.
Human mission. So they're all leaving.
Master Reed, would you mind accepting this?
Yeah, she's gonna give it
It's
this.
a little something I've always hope it will be of some use to you.
Blackbird tour. So basically, what happened is, you will receive a unique accessory from the character who has the highest leak experience. They have to be level 3 at least. Towa gives you the quick caliber, Claire gives you the swirling heart, and Sharon gives you the black tour. You can only get one though out of the 3. So
I would like to remain here and continue to serve you as well, you know. I wish you the very best in the days to come. I'm sure that if you try, you will find a place worthy of you in this world. I also hope that you'll continue to care for Lady Elisa in more ways than one.
no, that's not happening. Start shipping Rena and Elisa.
Well then, it's time we bid you all a fond farewell for now.
That shipping is not gonna happen in this playthrough, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for Elisa fans.
May the goddess be with you.
I look forward to the stories you'll have to tell when next we meet, Laura.
Good luck, Father.
The shipping in this walkthrough is Rena and Laura. I gotta make that clear right now. Oh man, no hate, no hate intended to Elisa fans though. So.
Well, there they go. You think they'll be okay on their own?
Only the goddess herself knows for certain. Still, with some already calling this a second advent of the War of the Lions, I can only hope they make it through unscathed.
Oh, I'm sure they'll all be just fine. They don't bear the symbol of the horned lion for show.
Yes, I suppose you're right. And the same goes for me, too. I can't very well call myself a Thor's alumnus and fail to deliver.
Well, well, are we birds of a feather? Proud Thor's graduates unite. I'll be in touch with them plenty in the coming weeks, so don't worry. The old guard will do as it must to keep watch over the young and vigilant. Speaking of the old guard, Chancellor Osborne was also a Thor's graduate, was he not?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, he was.
Sorry to say, I can't picture it.
Was he now?
They probably said that part already, that he was a student in
He and I
Thor.
may have had our differences, but I still feel a certain loss with his passing. I'd like to express my condolences to you while I have the chance.
I'm afraid I never had the chance to truly get to know him. But there's no doubt in my mind that he was one of the greatest men of our time.
Thank you.
Still, it must be tough for you with Heimdall under the Alliance's thumb. Were you able to find out where his funeral was held?
Actually...
What happened?
Captain? Is something amiss?
It's just that I received a strange report on that very issue. I was told his body was taken into the custody of the Imperial Guardsmen when the city was occupied. But then after that, it simply disappeared at some point.
What?
Disappeared, you say?
The body?
Is it possible the reformist faction could have taken it from them?
I'm afraid I don't know. It is possible that the intelligence division did something to that effect.
A disappearing corpse is certainly cause for concern.
Yes, what the fuck?
It's difficult not to draw parallels with the Lance Maiden's sudden death following the War of the Lions.
Unbelievable. I'm almost impressed how much trouble one man can stir up, even from beyond the grave.
That's crazy. So
So many plots in motion. I doubt even his death put a stop to them all.
It's crazy. What the fuck they gonna do with that with a fucking corpse though? Alright, touring at Rebellion 1. Alright. Alright, so this is a bridge. Yeah, Fee is right. So what did they settle on? What? You slacker. Okay, that works. Hmm. So I'm gonna go to Trista first. Okay. Alright. So we're gonna be able to fly around Aeroponia then. Oh, really? Okay, and a fucking computer. Well, that computer looks so fancy though. Okay, I see in the highlights. Okay. Yeah, Towa put that request in. Okay, so they are in different like towns. Yeah, one for Norley Grand. Alright, they have different facility and stuff. Okay. Alright, so it's gonna be louder. Fee. For support, Sarah is okay really with her crafts and stuff. For support, who do I want to use for support? I feel like I want to use Emma for support. Let's go. I mean, every character, as much as I hate using, let's say, Juices and Elisa, they had good crafts, you know. This is a really hard decision. I'm gonna go with Sarah and Emma. Mainly because I never really use Emma that much in Cold Steel, so I'm gonna use her a little bit more in Cold Steel too.